Saturday night, boys. It is the Saturday night, and welcome to FC RAMSAY because here we are for the big match of the Saturday night. That is the Madrid derby, which is going on. The watch links are there on the social media description. Join it to have the avail of it. You don't have to give your bucks for that, but on the lineups, we would definitely like to have the favors of the different players who are going to come back today. What is that which is going to happen? Let us put this on the screen because this is definitely which is not going to take a big game changing moment because it is the Real Madrid and Atletico de Madrid, the watch along which we are having. The Madrid derby is over here and the lineups are also here. The previous meeting between these two teams was definitely a big aspect and that ended in a draw, but the Roji Blancos, they were down to 10 men in the stoppage time. Oh my god, what a game that was. What a game that was. And top scorers for Real Madrid is that the likes of Kylian Mbappe with 15, Vinicius Jr. is 8, Jude Bellingham with 7 goals, assists for the Los Blancos, it is Bellingham with 6, Rodrigo with 5, and Vinicius with 5. I mean, the three strikers which we were saying that are going to be lethal, they are proving it big. Oh my god, Los Blancos, Real Madrid against the likes of Atletico Rojiblancos at the Santiago Bernabeu. What is that going to happen? Because for the Atletico Madrid, it is their top scorers Alexander Sorloth, he has been doing those menaces. Blancos, Simeone with his kid, Simeone back to back those 2 goals in the previous game. Atletico are going to get those big numbers. Griezmann is having those 8 goals. Alvarez has got those 6. And on the top assist, it is their elite man, Antonio Griezmann. However long that man, he is going to stay there on the pitch, it is going to be critical. Los Blancos, can they get it? Saul is that another man with those assists of 4, as well as Simeone has got those 3 assists. I mean, the stats of both the teams are looking so good. And can we have the table over here? Yes, it is the La Liga standings, and as of now, Real Madrid are 1 point ahead of the Rojiblancos. Just a single point difference. Oh my god, this game is going to be huge because Real Madrid have lost 2 of their last 5 derbies against the Rojiblancos, and in all competitions, a win and 2 draws, as many as defeats in the previous 15 meetings. That is big stats. Real Madrid have to be worried of, and Rojiblancos have collected a total of 8 points in their 11 away games. That is also, they have considered the least. Rojiblancos have just considered the least. They have the best defensive lineup, and Real Madrid have not won any of their last 4 matches against Atletico Madrid in the La Liga. They have got those 3 draws, 1 loss. Big insights, guys. Big insights. Atletico against Real Madrid. This Madrid derby has got those big insights of it. But to have the stats of the table, we have got those epic. I mean, to look at it, just have that the win probability of Real Madrid getting this is 51%, 26% is that of a draw, and Roger Blancos has got those 23% win stakes for the bookmakers. But look at this, Real Madrid has played those 22 games, 15 wins, 3 losses, 4 draws. Holy man, this is going to be huge. This is going to be huge. And yes, definitely we will have the likes of the lineup because still it is 2 minutes to go into the game. But the most aspiring thing is that the Rojiblancos have considered just, 14 goals. They have scored 37, whereas Los Blancos have scored those 50 goals. Oh my god. But the lineups, here it is. What is that going to be for the Los Blancos? Because in this lineup, we have got in the first, let's that be Ninja Turtle, Kylian Mbappe. Can he make those big numbers counting? We have got Vinicius on the left wings, Rodrigo on the right wings. Both Kylian Mbappe and Bellingham, they were not given those great time opportunities in the previous clash where Real Madrid got those victories. But here it is Bellingham who is back from those injury times. Mbappe is back also from that knock. They have got those rest. Vinicius was that substitute who was played in the previous game for the Los Blancos. But Garcia has been picked on the left back in the previous match. Garcia was not there in the first lineup. Asensio, Chouameni is there. Vasquez is there. Valverde and Ceballos and Courtois has been picked. Lunin hasn't been there. To talk about the substitutions, I mean, both the teams have got so much, but we will first have the lineup for the likes of the Roger Blancos. Here it is. I mean, Atletico with the likes of Griezmann, Alvarez. Alvarez is that signing which Simeone is boosting. Diego Simeone, to talk about him, he has got those Argentine players, he has got those French nationals, he has got those Spaniards. These are the three, except from Samuel Lino, who is that Brazilian kid in the block. Big wins incoming. Either it is for the Roger Blancos. There is also on the chat, the poll has been put up that who is going to get those victories, and the links for the matches are also there. Join our social media platform to avail those. And apart from that, Roger Blancos in their lineups, Lorente is there, Gimenez and Longlet has been preferred on the center backs. Neither Witzel nor Costes, Aspilicueta and neither Molina has been picked up. And it is Javi Gallan who was there in the regular lineup in the previous picture. Also, he has been picked. I mean, that is all about the lineups for Atletico Madrid and the Roger Blancos versus the Los Blancos. But much more defining fact is that if we get to have the watch of, I mean, the previous leg where the matches happened, it was those, I mean, draws where Angel Correa scored on those stoppage time. Lorente got those red cards on the late stoppage time. It was that goal from Eder Militao on the 64th minute. This was the previous meetup where Roger Blancos and Los Blancos got a chance to face each other. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is that going to be big? Is that going to be counting big? Because in that, a total of 12 shots. The previous matchup where Roger Blancos and the Los Blancos faced, 12 shots were taken both and 4 on target and a position of 50% almost there. That was close. 11 fouls, 4 yellow cards, and a one red card was there as well in that previous matchup. Oh my god. Los Blancos, Hala Madrid. Get it big, boys. Get it big. Get it big. You have to get those numbers counting. Oh my god, what is that? Why is it not getting those opening moments? So yes, the poll is also over here, and we are having the lineups as well. This was the stats of the previous game, and in the previous matchup, the lineups were that of Oblak was there in the goalkeeping for the Roger Blancos. Lee Normat, Gimenez and Mendova was there, and Molina on the right backs. DePaul, Lorente, and Callagher, as well as Alvarez, were there for the previous lineups where Roger Blancos and the Los Blancos faced. Sorloth and Griezmann, there was the likes of Alvarez also in the squad, but from the likes of Real Madrid, it was Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo in the starting. No signs of Kylian Mbappe was there. Oh my god. Jude Bellingham, Chouameni, Modric, and Valverde, whereas Mendy, Militao, and Rudiger were there. What is that going to be cooking, guys? What is that going to be cooking? Eder Militao not in the squad. The man who scored and Santiago Bernabeu is just getting closed. Why is that? What has happened to it? Just give me a sec, guys. Just give me a sec. There is something. Sorry for the discrepancies, but that was the previous fixture, and in the stats, it was the likes of the Roger Blancos getting those equalizers late in the stoppage time. But what is that going to be happening for today? Because the lineups has started, and it is the Los Blancos going one on one. The top stats, are they going to count? Yes, the game has begun. That a pass has been made. A pass has been made over there. Oh my god, that is a big pass which has been made. Top scorers for both the teams, top assists for both the teams. Are they going to create those differences? Are they going to create those differences? Because the standing is looking so good. And can we have those lineups for today? Yes, it is. But we would definitely want to go with this. Yes, it is the lineup, and the Los Blancos with this lineup, it is looking good on the screen. It is looking good on the pitch. The game has just begun. After a slight delay, Atletico Madrid gets the match. There was a slight delay in that lineup in this starting. And the referee on pitch, Cesar Sato Grado, can he make those differences count? Will that be the moment what we are looking for? Will that be the moment? Give your votes that who are going to get those big victories? Who are going to get those big victories? The match links are there in the social media platform as well as it is there. I mean, the links have been shared to get a chance of looking straight into the matches. Oh my god, that is some scoring opportunity. That is some scoring opportunity. 1 minute, 11 minutes onto the watch. Roger Blancos tried to make a pass. Simeone, look at that tackle. Simeone makes that tackle. Make him hit it, boy. Simeone makes that tackle. Oh my god. That is a corner. Ceballos tries to take that, but no, the linesman has given that throw for the Roger Blancos. Oh my god. Alvarez and Simeone are the man with the likes of Griezmann. Atletico inside the box with that throw, a header denied. That is clearance by Bellingham. Vinicius Jr. is chasing the ball. It is for Oblak. Oblak has got that position. Will Oblak create those differences today? Will Oblak create those differences today? Because in the previous matchup, Oblak was definitely that man. He was denying. I mean, all those 11 shots which Los Blancos had in the previous matchup, it was Oblak who was doing it so good. Really, that was Oblak doing it so good. You can't just deny. You can't just deny this man. I mean, he has got those big numbers as well. Longlet has been picked up on the centre back. Passes that to Lorente. DePaul. DePaul is speeding up. Oh my god. Roger Blancos again with Simeone on the wings. Garcia is that man. Make him big, boy. Garcia is that man. He is doing those tackles. Simeone against Garcia. That is another big talking point in this game. And Vasquez against Samuel Lino. Much talking points. Lorente against Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo against Javi Galan. These aspects, whereas the likes of Asensio and Chouameni, can they tackle Griezmann and Alvarez? Whereas the likes of Jimenez and Longlet, can they tackle the hot Kylian Mbappe roaring back? Kylian Mbappe has got the ball in his possession, passes that to Vasquez. Vasquez back to Valverde. Valverde is getting those positions good, changing the momentum of the gameplay onto the left. Simeone has got those tackles. The referee must be having his words. Simeone has got those tackles. Look at that. Look at that. Asensio passes that to Vasquez. Vasquez, that is interception. Samuel Lino has one. Oh my God. Vasquez has created that trouble inside the box. Samuel Lino goes for Griezmann. But that was an overpowered shot. That was an overpowered shot. Vasquez has just dug that big hole, and Samuel Lino found those tackles. He was just evading part. Man, Los Blancos outnumbered in their own box. It was just Chouameni and Asensio left, whereas the likes of Griezmann, Alvarez, as well as Lino and Simeone, four of the Roger Blancos were there on those attacks. Look at that move from Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe is getting those moves. 4 minutes, 41 seconds into the game. The Rojiblancos have got those big defenses in La Liga this season. They have considered the least. But can this game make those changes? Time and again, Rojiblancos are looking for that first goal. Time and again, the likes of Simeone, the likes of Samuel Lino, the likes of Alvarez, the likes of Griezmann, they are posing a threat to that struggling defensive lineup of Real Madrid. Los Blancos, bring it big, boys, bring it big. Courtois passes that to Asensio. Vasquez on the right backs. Valverde, whom is he going? He has went for Chouameni. Chouameni for Bellingham. Bellingham is staying deep on the midfields. Garcia raising high up on the left midfields, on the wings. Passes back to Bellingham. Bellingham gives that to Ceballos. Ceballos just moving it. Madrid are looking for those possession back, not giving it cheaply. Ceballos in the mid-pitch. Valverde staying on those right backs. Valverde and the likes of Garcia, they are moving high up on the pitch. Los Blancos are trying to get, that is a tackle, one on the attacking midfields by Bellingham. Bellingham has a sliding tackle to that, but no, the Roger Blancos, they are staying on those perfect positions. Los Blancos, after that position gameplay, which the Roger Blancos tried to get Atletico outnumbered by getting their wingers, Vasquez and Garcia, high up on the pitch. But no, Vasquez, momentum dribbling from him, trying to get it to Valverde. Bellingham makes that cross inside the box for Kylian Mbappe. Lenglet is that player. He is that experienced player. Lenglet, that French national in the squad. He has got those big numbers. Lenglet has got those experiences, but to talk about that, he will definitely lack those speeds. Lenglet is definitely going to lack those speeds. Who is going to win? Give your votes on the poll, which has been pinned on the chat section. It is going to be Los Blancos, it is going to be the Roger Blancos, and what is if it is going to be a draw? Our predictions were made just on the beginning of the stream. Previous game ended in a draw and there was a brawl. Ancelotti and Simeone had words even. That was a big clash. September 30th, 2024 was the previous fixture date, and now it is the like of 9th February. Rodrigo inside the box, just trying to get past Lenglet and Galan. Is that going for a corner? Rodrigo made that move, boy. Rodrigo made that move. Javi Galan, that man on the left backs, he was just overpaced by Rodrigo on the pitch. Rodrigo just cuts it into the box. Now the Rojiblancos are trying to make those long passes. Diogo Simeone's man on their defensive half. They are too hot to handle this season. They have got those least which they have considered. To talk about the Roger Blancos, look at their lineup, man. Oh my God. But it was in the previous fixture, Lee Normand, who is on a suspension, is not there for even the substitutes, whereas the injuries of Rudiger, Carvajal, Alaba and Eder Militao, Defensively, Madrid has broken their knees this season. This was a bit same in the previous season as well, but Carvajal was the man available. But this season, he is also not that. Valverde passes that to Rodrigo. Build up looking good. Los Blancos are dominating their possession now. 9 minutes on the watch. Valverde passes that to Rodrigo. Vinny trying to make a cut in into the box. Denied. That is a pass to Griezmann. Griezmann goes for Alvarez. Alvarez is that sole man. Now the Rojiblancos are looking down. They are playing their epical way of getting those vast counters. But in the previous 5 minutes, the Rojiblancos were making those moves, those build-ups. Now they have settled down because it is the Santiago Bernabeu where the fans are roaring high. Let it make happen once again. Valverde goes for Vasquez. Vasquez on the wings. Bellingham. Bellingham is getting those fluidity. Look at that. Bellingham is getting his natural fluidity, playing those box-to-box movements everywhere on the pitch. That is a good interception from Ceballos on the mid-pitch. Asensio back to Ceballos. Oh my God. What is that fall? Vinicius Jr. just had a fall on the pitch. What was that for? Garcia passes that to Kylian. Kylian, Bellingham. Bellingham changes the wings. It is for Rodrigo. Rodrigo has got that GP interception. No, denied. Anything can happen in this game. Anything can happen in this game. Whether the Los Blancos are going to get those big wins, Roger Blancos can get those upsets, or it is a draw. What is your predictions? Give on the vote section, which has been pinned on the chat. So yes, that was the line of the Roger Blancos. Big stats coming in, guys. Big stats coming in. Look at the stats which we have got till now. Look at the stats. To come straight into it, it is all those big numbers which are counting. Real Madrid are getting those 51 positions so far. No shots being taken so far. No shots being taken so far by both the teams. That is a big number counting. That is definitely a big number counting. But for this game, is it going to be the likes of those young attackers from the Los Blancos going to make those changes or not? 12 minutes on the watch. Still goalless. The Madrid derby at its epic. Just on the end of the winters. How is that going to end? The ball. What a tackle that was from. What a tackle that was from DePaul. Give him that card. DePaul needs a card. Look at that tackle. DePaul makes a tackle to Ceballos on the pitch. That was intentional. But no cards being shown. No cards being shown. No cards being shown. That is something not good by the referee on pitch. Cesar Soto Grado. That man. DePaul made those tackles, but he pays no heed to it. He pays no heed to it. That is bit annoying. That is bit annoying. Barrios passes that to DePaul on the right mids. Oh my God, inside the box. Blancos are seen moving inside the box. Simeone and Lorente. Lorente has got those big play times. And Simeone, that young fresh kid, Diogo has prepared that young kid Simeone so good. Father and son combination at the Roger Blancos happening good. Inside the box. Oh my God, that was a shot taken by Samuel Lino, but it was out of the box. No worries for Courtois because it was nowhere near the post. Look at those final thirds where the Roger Blancos are gaining those midfield position. That is what the strategical aspect of Roger Blancos are. That is what the strategical aspect which Diogo Simeone exploits for most of the teams, because just have the look of the lineup again. Those of you who had a miss of it, it is happening big. It is happening big. This game is getting so technical. This game is getting so technical. Garcia passes that to Kylian. Kylian drops down. Ceballos goes for Rodrigo on the pitch. Bellingham back to Asensio. I mean, looking at this game, Kylian and Bellingham are dropping down. Kylian trying to make some build up with Garcia. Denied. Midfield interception from Valverde. Bellingham too getting those sliding tackles. Clearance. That is a clearance. Blancos are making those clearances look so good. Jimenez is that man with that clearance. Kylian Mbappe was making some build up with Garcia on the left wings, but Jimenez senses that build up and gets the clearance. Much of the possession being enjoyed by the Rojiblancos so far in this game. 64% by the Los Blancos, whereas 36% by the Rojiblancos. That is what the Atletico does most of the times. 92% pass accuracy so far by the Real Madrid and 88% by the likes of the Atletico. What is that big number which is going to count? Real Madrid with this lineup, can they get those big wins? It is Rodrigo far off from the box. Samuel Lino getting those tackles with Rodrigo. Rodrigo passes that. Sensio has got Vasquez on the right wings. Vasquez is trying to get a cut in for Vinicius Jr. Vinicius Jr. making those runs. Interception. Throw. Vasquez takes that back to Valverde. Chouameni, as well as Asensio. These are the three centre backs who are staying deep down. Whereas the Roger Blancos with the likes of Alvarez, Griezmann, and De Paul are trying to make those press from the mid part of the pitch. Whereas Lino, and just look at the Roger Blancos lineup, it is Lino and Simeone who will make those runs at times. Bit critical move. That is from Diogo Simeone on the pitch. Carlo Ancelotti and Papa Perez make those differences count. Rodrigo takes that curl shot. That was the first shot taken. And the Los Blancos with the likes of Rodrigo on the edge of the box takes that shot. It was De Paul who was tackling it, but Rodrigo gets those spaces so neatly. And that shot, that wasn't that clinical to get a finishing into it. Oh my god, Simeone is making those stunt moves. Look at that, Simeone is making those stunt moves. Give your votes on the chat section. Give your votes on the chat section. Who is going to win this Madrid derby? Who is that who is going to win the Madrid derby for today? Who is that who is going to win it? I mean, in the timeline, if we get a watch of it, you guys, those of you who are watching it, this screen looks good over here. I mean, it is those sticky picky moments. Just wide Bellingham gets it so good. I mean, it is the latest which has happened. Rodrigo on the right midfields, trying to cut in, gets Bellingham on the mid pitch. Asensio, Ceballos, Madrid on their defensive midfields as well as on their centre backs are staying deep down. It is the creativity from Bellingham. It is the creativity from Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, and Garcia and Vasquez are performing for those attacks, whereas Valverde, Chouameni, and the likes of Asensio staying deep. Oh my God, oh my God, Rodrigo does a nutmeg on the pitch, but on the other hand, it is the same. Atletico are going making those interceptions time and again. It is that the Atletico are not giving away those spaces on their own defensive midfield because they are dropping down, and both the teams are playing it so sensibly. They know what is the time when they have to get those attacks. It is some sort of interceptions. Valverde has won it. Rodrigo inside the box. Vinicius Jr. Oh my God. Vinny. That was a left footer from Vinny just on the edge of the box, getting past Barrios. A first shot on attempt which could have been a good conversion. Vinicius Jr. against De Paul. De Paul is that man who is being manhandled. De Paul is that man whom Madrid are gaining those momentums again. De Paul is that man whom Madrid are getting those momentum time and again. Madrid are getting those momentum time and again against that midfielder De Paul. De Paul is that man whom the Los Blancos needs to target in the mid-pitch. Yes, it is again Kylian Mbappe against De Paul. De Paul misses it. Bellingham inside the box. Look at that. It was Kylian Mbappe on the edge of the centre backs. But that shot couldn't be taken. Los Blancos are now looking succumbing to the pressure, to the dominance of the Los Blancos at the Santiago Bernabeu because they are making those possessions, they are making those passes happening. Man, it was Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe just got those good dribbles. Oh my God. Kylian Mbappe just got those dribbles so good inside the box. Corner for the Los Blancos. That is a header interception to that corner. The ball is off for a throw. Lucas Vasquez finally getting those ball for the clearance. Ancelotti is asking his players to move down the pitch. 1 point difference. They won't be much annoying for Ancelotti if this game goes for a draw because they have to face City. They have got those big fixtures in the Champions League as well, and he won't even want his players to get any sort of injuries as well. I mean, both the teams are playing it so sensibly, and that is what the big teams make it happen because Real Madrid on their fixtures next they have got Manchester City, Osasuna, and again Manchester City back to back big games in the Champions League for the Los Blancos. And to talk about the Rochi Blancos, they have also got those big fixtures as well because it is this Madrid derby where the Rochi Blancos are playing it at Santiago Bernabeu. Prior to this, it was a Getafe, and next it is Celta Vigo and Valencia as well as Athletic Club. They have got no Champions League fixtures because they have already qualified. But in the La Liga, it is the Los Blancos with a 1 point lead. Can that be the difference which is going to stay at the end of the season? That is what which we are looking for. I mean, these stats which have been just modified, 2 shots by the Los Blancos, 1 by the Roji Blancos in this lineup of the Real Madrid. This timeline is definitely looking a bit nuggy on it. Yes, the timeline has been updated. And yes, those of you who are watching it, get those cheeky picky links. Kylian Mbappe again on the right wings. Kylian Mbappe is seen making those moves. Kylian Mbappe is seen making those moves. Time and again, he is proving it. Bellingham passes that to Valverde. Valverde, Chouameni are staying deep down on their defensive aspect. Kylian Mbappe again back to Vasquez. Ancelotti is making those changes in the team with the upcoming fixtures. He might not be happy for Los Blancos not spending those big in those winter transfers. And to talk about that, it is definitely Ancelotti must not be happy with the transfers at the Los Blancos. I mean, he would have definitely wanted few players. It is Vasquez on the right wings getting it past, but the ball has got interceptions at the cost of a corner. To talk about the transfers, Joselu is that last man who Madrid got apart from Kylian Mbappe, and it is Reina Rodriguez, all those Castilla players who have been given those. Real Madrid, will they get Alexander Arnold? The deal has been perfect on the right backs. That is a shot for Valverde to take in on the edge of the box. Interception to it, boys. Interception to it. All the Blancos are now looking, just parking their bus on their defensive half. They are not going for those creativities. They are lacking it, but they are unpredictable. They can get those chances happening from anywhere on the pitch. It is Griezmann. What a left footer that is. On the right backs of Lorente. Now the Rojiblancos on the 25th minutes of the gameplay are looking a bit high on the pitch, making some creativity happening. Oh my god, oh my god. Time and again, the Atletico are making those progress on those attacks. It is looking so lethal. It is looking so lethal. Bellingham changes the flanks from the centre backs deep down to Vasquez on the right backs. Vasquez has a mid pitch back to Bellingham. Bellingham is playing everywhere on the pitch. Bellingham is that man. He is playing everywhere on the pitch. Bellingham is definitely going to be that big man in this game. He is playing. And yes, guys, those of you who are watching it, give those votes on the poll section, which has been pinned on the chat. Whether it is going to be the Los Blancos, it is going to be the Roger Blancos, or is it going to be a draw in the Madrid derby at Santiago Bernabeu? Valverde is now moving high up on the pitch. He is on the edge of the box. Rodrigo on the right wings trying to make some sort of cut in. Back passes to Bellingham. Bellingham gives it to Asensio. But the absence of Modric on the pitch, it is quite evident that Los Blancos are going for those short passes. That is a shot being taken. Ceballos, the man. No. That footer from Ceballos just couldn't get that good touch into it. It is the likes of those back heel touches. I mean, Vasquez, Rodrigo, both of them making those touches. Los Blancos are now humiliating in those passes against the Atletico. Look at that. Rodrigo and Vasquez getting those back heels. That was some epic moment on the pitch. Kylian Mbappe taking that shot inside the box. Take it, big boy. Denied. Denied. Kylian Mbappe denied. Vinicius Jr. denied. Inside the box. It was one-on-one against Gimenez and Lenglet. Oh my god. That was a big chance. There was some sort of physical tackles. The referee is going to take some VR onto it. Lenglet against Kylian. Lenglet had a fall. That was a high footer. Oh my god, that is handball. Gimenez has a handball. It was finally Javi Garan moving it and getting those interceptions against Vinicius. Oh my god, inside the box, some cheeky peeky moments happened. Los Blancos couldn't take the advantage. Vinicius Jr., Kylian Mbappe, both of them just couldn't take the advantage of that ball inside the box, whereas Lenglet was the player who was down on the box. That was a big moment. That was a big moment for Los Blancos. A goal would have been that good vital factor at the Santiago Bernabeu, but it hasn't happened. Tchouaméni again passes that to Bellingham straight on the pitch. I mean, Mbappe in those 30 minutes, I mean, to be precise, 29 minutes, 40 seconds of this gameplay, has got those ball in his position quite a few times. But Vinicius Junior, on the other hand, is not looking anything creative on it. He is having a good aspect of the game which is going on. On the other hand, that was a big moment. That was a handball from Gimenez. That was a handball from Gimenez on the pitch. That was a handball. Oh my God. Ceballos got those tackles against Barrios. He could have broken his leg. Holy Christ. I hope these tackles, I mean, these interceptions, these defensive aspects, these attacking aspects don't get to any sort of brawl which happened in the previous picture. That was a big brawl which happened at the, oh my God, inside the box. What? I mean, Savalos today, at times, he is giving those cheeky peeky positions so badly on the pitch. His involvement on the pitch, defensively, he has been staying good. Asensio doing those creativities on the center back, staying those alert movements. But Chouamini, not happening. Garcia, on the other hand, those creativities from Garcia from the left backs hasn't been seen much. Some of the moments of this game so far on the 30th minutes, a handball from the Roger Blancos, a tackle by Ceballos. Some of the moments, I hope players don't get those injuries. Roger Blancos are definitely in the Champions League. They have qualified, but Los Blancos have to play for those playoffs. It is against Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. I mean, both Los Blancos in their defensive aspect, not to the best, but it is their muscle memory which comes it good. Look at that pass from Javi Galan. Look at that pass from Javi Galan time and again. On the counters, the Los Blancos are looking bit lethal. There's Sam Molino down on the pitch. The referee is having some sort of discussion with the match officials. Is it that Diego Simeone is again going to get those cheeky peeky waste moments on the pitch? Already many moments are being lost. Even the game started bit late. The game already started bit late. Some sort of VR aspect to be taken. Yes, the referee is going on to take those VR. It is penalty to Atletico Madrid, I guess. What is that going to happen? That is going to be a VAR. Oh my God. That is a big, big game changer. That is a big game changer which is going to happen. Oh my God. Look at that. Chouameni gets his fate for that ball. It was against Samolino, but what? Chouameni inside the box. That is, what was that move from Chouameni in the pitch? I am going to beat that shit from Chouameni if that is going to be a penalty awarded. The referee is going to take a VAR. I mean, Chouameni got that tackle, man, inside the box. How can you afford to get those tackles? Boy, I mean, look at that lazy movement from Chouameni. He just stretches his legs. Holy Christ. Holy Christ. That is a penalty which is being given. Man, I can't believe this. That is a penalty which has been given. That is a penalty. Holy Christ, man. That is a big penalty which has been given. And look at that lazy moment from Chouameni. Man, he is a rusty peach on the. Look at that lazy moment tackling from Chouameni. He was just staying over there. He just stretched his legs to make those tackles. Can you believe that? Holy God, that is a penalty which has been given. That is a penalty which has been given. Julian Alvarez, miss it. Julian Alvarez, miss that. Julian Alvarez, miss that. Go for those white shots. We will pay you 100 million next season. Miss that, Julian Alvarez. Julian Alvarez, miss that penalty. We will pay you 100 million next season and get those transfers to Los Blancos if there is a seat vacant for you. Miss that, Julian Alvarez. Miss that. Son of a, Julian Alvarez scores that penalty. Good. Oof, pain, man, pain. Chouameni is a big pain. Chouameni is a big pain. Chouameni is a big pain. Cheaply considering away those penalties. What was that cross from Javi Galan? Look at it. Chouameni was there and he just stretched his legs. He was so bit lazy into it. And that referee, that shit man on the pitch, gives that penalty and Julian Alvarez scored that. Porto had a jump, but Alvarez went straight. Alvarez went straight, man. Alvarez went straight. He got that penalty converted. Madrid down by one goal. Los Blancos down by one goal. 35 minutes. Holy moly, juicy pookie. Chouameni. Man, I really at times need to beat that shit out of that player, Chouameni, man. I really just can't digest it. That cross from Javi Galan into the box. Why was that Chouameni getting those tackles? It was so rusty. It was so bad. He was so lazy on the defensive aspect. He just couldn't move his body and he just let that penalty to be taken. Get rid of Chouameni, man. Get rid of this age-old big chunk of meat, big chunk of piece. This shit out of this team. Get Chouameni that shit out of this team. Time and again, he is giving those moments in those big games. Get this Chouameni out of the pitch, boy. Get this Chouameni out of the pitch. I can't just tolerate this Chouameni anymore. I just can't tolerate this Chouameni anymore. How is Ancelotti feeling? How is Ancelotti feeling with Chouameni making those lazy tackles inside the box, not moving his ass fast, just stretching his legs, and that too late. In stretching his legs, Chouameni is late, and that is a penalty. Ah, this will end in the table very bad. This will end in the table very bad because it is the Rojiblancos who have now moved high up on the table. It is the first time the Rojiblancos are high up on the table. Man, I was saying in from the start of the stream. I was saying it from the start of the stream. Defensively, Los Blancos haven't been that good. Whereas the Roger Blancos, this season doing it so good. Atletico are taking their time to settle. Griezmann passes that to Lino. Lino is making those runs on the left wings. Look at that from Chouameni. Now he is moving his ass fast and getting those blocks. Chouameni was not that definitely alert on the pitch. Chouameni was definitely not alert that on the pitch. And the same thing, and again, from the likes of Vasquez. I mean, look at that lazy move from Chouameni. Look at that lazy move from Chouameni, man. I mean, he could have got evaded that cross so good, but inside the box, he gives that penalty. That is, I mean, you can't just allow such players to play in the team for long. Ancelotti must try to get rid of him. The Blancos have got the advantage of a penalty which they have got and converted it. 39 minutes 42 seconds on the watch. Can the Los Blancos get those equalizers in the first half? It is much needed. Oh my god, again, look at that. It is again Vasquez. Not at the right moment. It is for Chouameni to get those tackles. Finally, he gets it. Finally, Chouameni gets that tackle. I mean, in every match, I have seen Chouameni committing those mistakes, and after those mistakes, he plays little bit alert. And apart from that, his alertness on the pitch is really what is bit annoying. His movement, Kylian Mbappe on the mid pitch, will he make those differences? I mean, with this lineup, how is that going to prove? How is that going to prove? Because the stats so far, Los Blancos has got those comeback moment in the position, in the build-up, which was looking happening. But now suddenly things have changed because the Roji Blancos have got that penalty opportunity and they have got it good. Atletico moves on to the top, 2 points ahead of Los Blancos with that penalty opportunity which they have got, but not getting those right moments. Vasquez getting those cross inside the box for Kylian Mbappe. Not happening from Vasquez. Oh my god, look at those wide moments. Samuelino again. Samuelino gets a chip in. Alvarez not getting that clinical move. Yes, Los Blancos are trying to get those recovery. Vinicius Jr. going for Kylian Mbappe. Both Rodrigo and Vini on the same side of the wings. Left part trying to make those runs. Roji Blancos on their defensive aspect, they are the best in the La Liga as well as in all competitions across the globe. They have considered the least. Defensively, Atletico are doing it good. On those attacking aspects, Los Blancos have done it decent, but it is those Real Madrid who have got those 22 goals just conceded. I mean, that is the least for the La Liga. Barcelona have considered 24. I mean, my mistake, guys. Real Madrid has considered 22. Atletico has considered 14, the least across all the competitions. I mean, in the Serie A as well. Inzaghi's man has considered more than him. I mean, to talk about in the Serie A, to be precise, the least goals being scored. I mean, Napoli has considered least 16 goals, and La Liga, I mean, in Bundesliga, Bayern has considered 19, and in the La Liga, it is the Roji Blancos who has considered the least of 14 goals. That is a big aspect. That is a big aspect. Big talking point of this game. Inside the box, a shot that is from Javi Galan. I mean, Javi Galan, he is making those shots. Look at that from Chouameni time and again. He is giving those spaces for Oji Blancos to take those shots. What the hell are you doing? But even Vasquez, man, that right part from the defensive aspects of Real Madrid, it is quite concerning. It is quite concerning. I would have wanted Valverde to play on the right backs, and on the other hand, I would have either got the likes of Modric or the likes of Arda or Brahim Diaz to be there. Ancelotti goes for Vasquez on the right backs. Vasquez has been doing bit creative at times. Rodrigo on the right part of the pitch, trying to get it into the box. 1, 2, 3 players dribbled. Interception for Rodrigo. Valverde passes that to Garcia. Back to Vasquez. Vasquez for Valverde. Valverde has it inside the box. Vinny taking that shot. I mean, look at that cluster. It is looking like a honey bee hive. It is a beehive inside the box of the Rojiblancos. It was just looking like a beehive. I mean, so many players just getting clustered. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the Rojiblancos deep in their defensive aspect. 5 of the Rojiblancos deep in their defensive aspect. Is that going to happen or not? Is that going to happen or not? Make that differences count, boys. Make that differences count. It is that sole goal. And that penalty from Alvarez, which has looked counting into it. Apart from that, in these stats, if we talk about, it is 5 shots from Real Madrid and 5 from the Rojiblancos as well, but none on target from the Los Blancos, because Atletico, with their bus parked so deep in their defensive half, just going now for those fast counters because of that advantage. 45 minutes are up. 4 minutes of added time for the first half. Chouameni, Vasquez, Kylian, Valverde. Valverde, will he take that shot? No, he goes for Vasquez. I mean, look at that red beehive on the pitch. Look at that red beehive on the pitch. Look at that red beehive inside the box of the Rojiblancos. That is looking like a complete beehive. All the red dots, all those red jerseys. I mean, 4 of the Rojiblancos on their centre backs, not giving any spaces. They are denying everything, whatever is coming onto it. Los Blancos, make it happen. 47 minutes, 2 minutes of added time in the first half is up. Chouameni getting that interception, back passes to Courtois. Courtois has that, a long ball for Kylian, Vinny Jr. as well. Bellingham. I mean, it is that both the way where Ancelotti's men will now find it be struggling in the last 2 minutes, because they will not go for those high up on the pitch. Rather, they would look a bit defensive, because not conceding a second goal will be the big option in the first half for now. But if they get a chance to get a score, that would be definitely a big apple coming on. Garcia on the left wings, back passes, Valverde. Creativity today not happening from Garcia. To talk about this good, creativity today is not happening from Garcia. Creativity today is not happening that from Garcia. Creativity today is not happening from that of Garcia. I mean, Rojiblancos with this lineup is really looking so defensive. I mean, look at that. It is all the way down. Roger Blancos are all the way down on their defensive aspect. Longlet is that man who can be just avoided. Longlet is that man who can be just avoided. But in this game, he is doing those man marking. Look at that tackle. Longlet made that challenge and he made Rodrigo fall on the pitch. He made Rodrigo fall on the pitch. Real Madrid, on their aspect, I don't think Vasquez should be kept in the squad for the second half. Valverde should come on, drop down to the right backs, and it is this sort of Modric or Gula must come in onto those mid pitch, or it is Diaz. They have. Ancelotti has got those opportunities. Why is he not using that? I don't know. Valverde, a free kick movement for the Los Blancos. Bit wide off the edge of the box. Valverde takes that. A grounded shot. Block. Block for the Roger Blancos. 4 minutes of the added time in the first half is up. I mean, that shit referee now finally blows the whistle. To talk about him, he has been a big menace today, getting those, I mean, penalties. And what was that worth for? Because that is also a bit critical on the pitch, because that has created that one moment goal, and Atletico are enjoying it. And Atletico are really enjoying it. And to be today on the pitch to talk about this, it is the half time and a yellow card. I mean, what is that which happened? What is that which happened? That goal, I mean, that was a penalty for Atletico Madrid. And after viewing that incident, that referee, I mean, that was a decision which was made. On the other hand, Chouameni got those rusty pusty moments. That was a bad aspect. That was a bad aspect. And yes, those of you who are watching it, give us votes. It is that vote which has come for the Los Blancos. Thank you for voting, guys. Cast your vote for those Los Blancos to be happening, because it is that shit refereeing which is happening on the pitch. To be precise, it is that shit movement from Chouameni on the pitch which has ended in the first half. Chouameni being so lazy on the pitch. How can you be so lazy on the pitch? I mean, that cross from Javi Gallan came in so good, and that moment, Chouameni just couldn't make it. I mean, to talk about this game, just look at it. It is those 6 shots which the Los Blancos has taken, 5 from the Roger Blancos. With the lineups, Atletico have been doing bit decent at times, but no denied. And in the table, if we talk about the standings, it is Roger Blancos who have moved up high. Roger Blancos has moved up high on the pitch. That is not the definite aspect which this game is moving on. And Ancelotti, to be precise with this lineup, if you talk about, I mean, what was the need of getting Vasquez into the pitch? It could have been Valverde on the right backs. It could have been the likes of Gula. It could have been the likes of Diaz. It could have been the likes of Modric on the mid pitch. But he opted for Chouameni and Vasquez on that right part of the pitch. It was Sam Molino who was making those decisions. But let me tell you, I mean, let me have you a look of this. I mean, this is the lineup, to be precise, for today's game. Just have a view of it. I mean, tactically speaking, it is Vasquez who is playing on the right backs. It is Chouameni, Asensio, and Garcia. These are the 4 defense which Ancelotti has picked for today's game. But in the previous fixture, in September 28th, I mean in the previous leg, where the Roger Blancos and the Los Blancos were facing each other, look at this lineup which ended in a 1-1 draw for both the teams. I mean, that was a stoppage time goal from Angel Correa, that super sub movement, as well as Marcus Llorente getting those red cards in the previous leg. But look at the lineup which was there. I mean, it was the likes of Real Madrid with Mendy on the left backs, that is a different aspect. Militao was there, yes, he is injured. Rudiger was there, yes, he is injured. But it was Carvajal there on the right backs. I mean, look at the two different centre back aspects. This is the lineup for today. It is the likes of Vasquez, Chouameni, Asensio, and Garcia. And in the previous leg, which ended in a draw, it was Mendy, Militao, Rudiger, and Carvalho. A whole lot of change. The four different centre backs has changed for Real Madrid from the month of September, and it is the month of February. The previous leg, which happened on September 30th, and this is the second leg, which is happening. I can't digest that. I can't digest that. Defensively speaking, in the previous fixtures, look at, I mean, for today's fixtures, it is Vasquez, Chouameni, Asensio, and Garcia. This is for today, where this shit goal happened, and with the likes of that penalty being awarded with this lineup. And in the previous fixtures, to talk about it, so good, it was those late moments which happened, which the Rossi Blancos got those late stoppage time. But in that lineup, look at that. I mean, Real Madrid was at a different centre back lineup completely. It was Mendy, Militao, Rudiger, and Carvajal, four different centre backs. And for this game, it is different. On in the midfields, in the previous leg, it was Bellingham, Chouameni, Modric, and Valverde. Look at that strong midfield presence. Bellingham, Chouameni, Modric, and Valverde. But for today's lineup, it is the likes of Valverde, Ceballos, and Bellingham. Man, Madrid is so down in their injuries. That is a big worry. And apart from those, Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo were there on those attacks. But for today's game, it is Rodrigo, Mbappe, and Vinicius Jr. So Real Madrid has got more attacking aspects into this game because Carlo Ancelotti has sensed that the previous leg where they got a goal early, but that was from Eder Militao, that was a cheeky peeky shot from him. He went for those two striking aspects, but for this leg, Ancelotti went for three attacks. That is what is happening. Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, in the previous leg, these were the two attacking aspects. The likes of Bellingham coming in, that was a different tactical approach from Ancelotti in that game. And for today's game, it is Rodrigo, Mbappe, and Vinicius Jr., three of them happening. And it is the like of Valverde, Ceballos, and Bellingham on the mid pitch. Quite different, but the centre back lineups for Los Blancos from the previous leg is totally different. It was Vasquez, Chouameni, Asensio, and Garcia for now for today's leg, and in the previous leg it was the likes of Mendy, Militao, Rudiger, and Carvajal. Huge tactical gameplay at Real Madrid, and Ancelotti and his men are making it count. Ancelotti and his men are making it count. On the other hand, for the likes of Rossi Blancos, Diogo Simeone, in the previous fixtures, look at it, it was Molina, Lenormand, Gimenez, and Mandava. These were the four. But for today's fixtures, it is Xavi Galan, Lenglet, Gimenez is that man who was there, and Llorente. Oblak was there in the previous leg as well. It is also what he is in this leg as well. But on the other hand, it was in the previous fixture, DePaul, Llorente, Gallagher, and Alvarez, the midfield presence for Diogo Simeone's men in the previous leg. I mean, four of this. Llorente was there on the mid pitch. DePaul was there. It was Gallagher getting those transfers. He was there. It was Alvarez who was stuck into deep down on those midfield aspects in the previous leg. But now it is Lino, different man. Barrios, different man. DePaul is that man sticking it. It is Simeone, that man. Look at that evolution which Diogo Simeone has got into the Rossi Blancos. Look at that evolution from the mid page in the previous leg, looking it good. It was DePaul. He has been consistently playing it. Llorente consistently for these Simeone's men. Gallagher and Alvarez were there, but for today's leg, it is Lino, different man. Barrios, different man. DePaul, different. Simeone, new one. Oh my God. Atletico Madrid, Diogo Simone has built up this team so good. And on the other hand, Alvarez and Griezmann for today's lineup are there on the attacks. But in the previous leg, it was Griezmann and Sorloth. And Sorloth has been that consistent in the La Liga this season as well, because Sorloth has got those big stats counting. Sorloth has got those big stats counting. I mean, to talk about this, Atletico de Madrid, their new tactical, I mean, player involvements on the pitch. They have got those few transfers. They have got that best Alvarez transfer, whereas Real Madrid has also got those best Kylian Mbappe transfers. But the lack of the defense at the Los Blancos is struggling against the Roji Blancos, whereas Atletico are not getting those good creative moments at times. They are looking for those counters. In the first 5 minutes of the first half, they were looking much on those aspects, because just have a look of what was happening from the first half. It was the Real Madrid lineup and as well as the Los Blancos lineup. Just kick off, Real Madrid, Jude Bellingham and Atletico Madrid's Lorente kneels on the ground. That was a tackle. I mean, things were going so one way for the Roji Blancos in the first 5 to 7 minutes. Kylian Mbappe was in action as well. At times he was seen, and Valverde was jumping in. He was staying bit defensive at times, not moving high up on the pitch. It was seen Ceballos, Vinicius Jr. just couldn't. I mean, the referee stops the play just ahead of a Real Madrid corner and shows Ceballos a yellow card for a missed time challenge. I mean, Los Blancos have been committing those challenges. They have got those. That was the first yellow card which was shown. It was for Daniel Ceballos. And that tackle, after that, it was that penalty which was being awarded. That happened it so good. And that goal which Alvarez scored, that was definitely, I mean, Courtois had a jump, but Alvarez getting it netted. And again, it was the second yellow card of the game, Longlet getting it. Apart from that, I mean, this is a hotly contest which is going on, what has been said at the Santiago Bernabeu, but the visitors ahead of the narrowest of margins has got those penalty big opportunities which has come. And Real Madrid unable to break down their opponents. I mean, that Roji Blancos are not getting those clinical aspects happening. I mean, to talk about the lineups of this, to be precise, in the second half, if the substitutions are going to be made, for the Roji Blancos, I would definitely want Vasquez to be out of the pitch and bring in Valverde down to the right backs, and the involvement of either Modric or it is Guler or it is Diaz, because Modric was that man who was present in the first leg as well. Modric was the man who was present in the first leg as well. Modric has to be brought in. Gonzalo Garcia, he will be brought in on those super subs. Endrick, Brahim Diaz, Guler can be made. But Brahim Diaz or Modric, I mean, those orchestrating creative playmaking positions in the attacking midfield is required, which is a bit lacking from Los Blancos in those attacks. And on those centre backs, Vasquez needs to be replaced by Valverde, and Vasquez needs to be, I mean, positionally speaking, Valverde needs to drop down to Vasquez and get those opportunities. It will definitely be disheartening for Valverde to digest it, dropping down to those right backs. But yes, he has been playing it good. And to talk about the player profiles, he is that center midfield player who loves to dominate that part of the pitch from those right midfields. But he has to be sacrificed. Chouameni has also been sacrificed to the centre backs. The lack of the centre backs is not what is happening. I mean, that tackle from Chouameni can be ignored for this, because no other options which they have got. I mean, who do you think? Ramon, man, in the previous game, he committed those mistakes. Vallejo is new. Aguado is that man which I was sticking to, but Ancelotti is not giving those playtime for Aguado as well. Camavinga, no, 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 no. Please don't bring Camavinga on the pitch. Please. He's back from the injuries in the lineup, but please. On the other hand, to talk about the Rogi Blancos, I mean, I don't think that the Rogi Blancos needs to make those changes. Simeone hasn't been doing that good, what is expected, but he's a new kid in the block. He will take his time. De Paul, Perios doing their damn good. Griezmann and Alvarez making those bold statements. But Lino Galan, both are doing it so good. Longlet and Gimenez, marvel. They are denying any opportunities. Longlet has got a yellow card. Most of the worry is will he get that another yellow or a red card because Kylian Mbappe has been pressing it high up against him. Lorente also doesn't need to change. That is what the first half is going to be there. But whether it is going to be the Los Blancos or whether it is going to be the Rogi Blancos, that is the aspect we will watch in the second half. And I would just like to put the team stats over here. It is the lineup of the Los Blancos, and in the standings, it is the Rogi Blancos who have crawled to the top. Just now, we had the analysis of the first half. What is that going to be? The substitutions which has to be made. What is that big happening today? Can we get those big moments? Yes, it is the second half which has just begun. The second half has just begun, and any sort of substitutions or not, whether that is going to be substitution made by both the managers, no substitution being made, no substitutions being made. Man, it is Vasquez who is staying on the pitch. Holy God, holy God. Vasquez is staying on the pitch. Vasquez is that man, he is staying on the pitch. The same lineups which we had in the first half, it is that same lineup which we are having in the second half as well. It is that same lineup. None of them, neither Ancelotti, that fatherly figure, he sticks on to his tactics on most part of the aspects, and that is what he has stuck to into this. So Ancelotti is relying on those creativities from Vasquez to get it happen. Rodrigo gets Kylian on the right wings, getting some cheap movements inside the box. He is dribbling it good against two players. Oh my God. That was a rusty one-on-one Kylian Mbappe against the likes of Lino and Galan on the pitch. Rogi Blancos now parking their bus on their own defensive half. No changes made by Diogo Simeone so far on the pitch. The same lineup which was there for the first half is that which is going to be the, oh my God, there has been votes that it is the Rogi Blancos who are going to win. Why the hell are you giving those votes, boys? It is quite evident looking that the Rogi Blancos are making those moves, but it is for the Los Blancos to get those conversions, get those muscle memory high up on the pitch. 47 minutes onto the watch. Chouameni. Don't commit any mistakes, Chouameni. Man, no substitutions being made. Atletico Madrid are definitely not going to be that afraid to sit back on their defense because they do it so good. Ancelotti has some little other options to attack in the second half. Apart from that, he has got no options, but he has got a plentiful handful of it, and he must go for it. It is Modric, Gullit, Diaz, three men. I mean, if he is going to make those three men count at the same time, why not bring in the likes of either Modric or Diaz now and dropping down Vasquez? Because in the previous lineup, it was a different center back, total different center back lineup for the Los Blancos in the previous leg. And It was a complete different attacking lineup for Diogo Simeone in the previous leg as well. And Diogo Simeone has got those new players evolved with the likes of Lino, with the likes of Simeone into the squad. He has got the likes of that is a tackle, that is a bad tackle for Rodrigo. Give him that card. Yes, that is a card being shown. Xavi Galan was holding the t-shirt of Rodrigo so bad, not allowing him to make those runs. Xavi Galan, he is creating those obstacles for that run from Rodrigo. And yes, that is the card. A yellow card has been shown. That is the talking point of this game, guys. That is a big talking point of this game. Xavi Galan, that man has been just shown that yellow card. It is Kylian Mbappe scoring. That is the equalizer, boys. That is the equalizer. Make it goal. Kylian Mbappe has scored. Kylian Mbappe has scored. What a moment that is. That was Valverde. Went for Ceballos. It was Rodrigo on the wings, cutting it good. Bellingham tried that, but a deflection to it. Finally, Kylian Mbappe gets it. That is the equalizer which we want. You have got a penalty, and now it is what which we have got those deflections inside the box, and that is the equalizer, boys. That is the equalizer. Kylian Mbappe scoring it big. Kylian Mbappe scoring it so good. Bring the heat up, boys. Bring the heat up. That is the clinical finishing. Look at that. There were 1, 2, 3 floors. I mean, 4 players who were just guarding the nets of the Roger Blancos. Kylian Mbappe is looking aggressive. Kylian Mbappe in this 2025 got that good moments on the pitch, and it is those equalizers. Come on, big boys. Santiago Bernabeu just burn the hell out of those Roger Blancos. Xavi Galan also getting those yellow cards. Longlet is also there on a yellow card. On the defensive aspects, Atletico can't afford to make much more tackles. Press it high up against them. Press it high up against Xavi Galan. Press it high up against Longlet. They will go for those fouls and get those second yellow cards. Vinicius Junior inside the box. A tap. Oh my God, that ball hits the top post. It was just into the nets. The God is not going in favor of the Los Blancos today. That would have been the second goal incoming. That would have been the second goal incoming. Let us have a replay of that. Let us have a replay of that. Look at that. That ball hits the top post. Can we have a replay of that? Please give us the replay of that. Yes, it was on the left wings. Vinicius just gets that cut in. Oh my God, that was a header. That was a header from Bellingham. Bellingham and Kylian Mbappe are overlapping their positions. Bellingham and Kylian Mbappe are overlapping their positions. That is what happening from the attacks inside the box. Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Junior are overlapping their positions. It was that header from Bellingham. Just hits the top post. Just hits the top bar. Second goal was seen incoming. That is what Real Madrid is known for. They can get those comebacks. They have got those muscle memories. If you are playing at Real Madrid, you don't have to just rely on that. That is a corner. But what this referee is going for a goal kick? What is that? What is that? That was a corner. Look at that. That was a corner. Oh my God. Is the referee looking biased, guys? Is the referee looking biased? He has given a penalty as well as now this corner hasn't been given. Oh my God. The referee is looking biased. The referee is looking biased. La Liga, is it getting biased with the likes of the referees? Oh my God. Rodrigo on the right wings. gets it into the box. Say for Black. Black goes for the ball. The ball passes that. Lorente on the right backs. I mean, in the second half, after that early goal, which the Los Blancos got those equalizers, the Roger Blancos are now looking bit opening up in their aspects. And to talk about the timeline, it is that goal from Kylian Mbappe, which has resulted in, I mean, the table over here, where now Real Madrid are again 1 point ahead. That draw, sharing points, but we don't want that sharing of points. We don't want that sharing of points. We want all those 3 points from the Bernabeu to happen. We want all those 3 points from the Santiago Bernabeu to happen. Just get all those 3 goals. Los Blancos with that corner takes it good. Deflection from Garcia. Garcia gets that header. Look at that from Chouameni. Look at that from Chouameni. Whom is he marking? Whom is he staying at? Wide shot being taken. No threat for Courtois so far in the second half. And to be precise, in the first half as well, there was no threat for Courtois. Because just one shot was taken on target. Apart from that, Courtois didn't had much job to do except for that penalty, and Junel Alvarez scored it. But Kylian Mbappe getting those equalizers, good. Bring it big, boys. Bring it big. Kylian is making those stink moments. Now the schools are level. It is going to be a big one. That is a bad tackle to Rodrigo again. That is a bad tackle to Rodrigo again. Rodrigo is down on the pitch. It is Javi Galan making those tackles time and again. It is for the referee to give him that second yellow card. Give Javi Galan that second yellow card. Give Javi Galan that second yellow card. That is the much desired aspect. In the previous leg as well, the Roger Blancos with those tackles got those red cards, and in this also we want Javi Galan and Longlet to get those second yellow cards. Inside the box, Chouameni gets the header. Roger Blancos are now opening up. They are now opening up. And whereas Los Blancos have find that rhythm of gameplay with those equalizers, Los Blancos are now seen getting that rhythm. Good tackle from Chouameni. Good tackle from Chouameni. Break their legs. Break their legs, boy. Vinicius Junior inside the box. Tries to make a cut in into the box. Vinicius Junior has got those steroids from Ancelotti in the interval, and he is looking a bit aggressive on the pitch. Rodrigo. Back passes. Ceballos, header from Bellingham again. Second header from Bellingham, but the first time it hits the top bar, and it is the second time straight into the hands of Oblak. Creativity incoming. Creativity incoming. Look at that. Ceballos got those left footer. Bellingham was there on the right moment, but that header now went straight into the hands of Oblak. Two header chances for Bellingham. One hitting the top post and the second one safe into the hands of Oblak. It is Kylian again. Kylian again trying to cut in into the mid part of the box. That is some sort of threat. Ancelotti has fitted this team in the first half break with those approaches high up on the pitch to be made. And this is definitely going to be good. This creativity from Los Blancos. This was missing in the first half. This what happens from Ancelotti most of the times. I mean, he gets the notch of the first half so good. He allows your opponents to get those cheeky peeky moments in the first half, but Some sort of corner shots are being taken. There's Kylian again, speeding in. Number 9. Onto the right wings. Kylian Mbappe, 200 million goal. Come it again, big boy. Kylian going for those left footers. It is those three. Kylian has moved on the second half to the right wings. Rodrigo has been staying a bit high up on the pitch. Vinicius is staying on the right wings, the left wings. Fluidity from Los Blancos, and that has resulted in that aggressive attacks in the build-ups which is happening. This game is taking a bit toll. This game is taking a bit toll. The ball. Los Blancos making those moves. Alvarez straight that. Oh my god. That was a big opportunity. Simeone, that new kid in the block, misses it big. Simeone, that new kid in the block, misses it big. Simeone, that new kid in the block, that was a big opportunity Simeone got. But no tactical changes. Los Blancos playing their game, but with a significant import. Some sort of fluidity can be seen from the likes of Kylian and Rodrigo. Kylian on the first half was seen much on the left part of the pitch, but Bellingham, oh my god, that is a counter. Simeone, one on one up against Asensio. Asensio gets those tackle good. Good tackle from Asensio. Bring it, big boy. Look at that tackle from Asensio. He gets those tackles so good. I mean, the same lineup which has been sticking to the second half as well, and it is that equalizer which has happened. It is that equalizer which has happened. And yes, guys, those of you who are watching this stream, do give us those votes, whether it is the Los Blancos, whether it is the likes of Roger Blancos, who is going to win, or it is the likes of a draw which is happening. 60 minutes are up. Still 30 minutes plus stoppage time. Half an hour to go. Again across, that is for Kylian Mbappe from the right wings. Kylian gets that jump, but denied. Kylian denied. On the other hand, from the second half, I mean the Rojiblancos at the Santiago Bernabeu, I mean to be precise, the first 5 to 7 minutes of the first half which they played, look at that from Bellingham. Break that leg, break that leg, break that leg of Alvarez on the pitch. And he has got that penalty and he had converted it. That was looking some sort of miseries. That was looking some sort of miseries on the pitch. The ball, the ball passes that to the left part of the pitch. Look at that positioning from Lorente. Simeone's men have answers. They have those ready-made options as well as those answers ready for them. And they are making those substitutions. Look at these substitutions. I mean, I guess it is Molina and Coke who are going to be made those substitutions. Yes, they are seen on the pitch. They are looking seen on the pitch. Diogo Simeone has answers to every tactical aspects of any team. I mean, this season across all competitions, he has got his men so high up, and Diogo Simeone has got those perfect answers for those substitutions. He has got his team ready for every talking points of any matches across the globe this season. Any competition we are talking about, Diogo Simeone has got those. Simeone is out, Molina is in, the substitution being made. These substitutions are being made. It is Samolino out, Koke in. It is Simeone out, Molina in, and it is Xavi Galan out and Mandava in. Mandava was that man which Simeone went in for that first half. I mean, first leg. Cook has been brought in and Molina. That is those speedy moments. Tactical Simeone making it happen so good. Three substitutions which has been made by Diogo Simeone so far. These are the three substitutions, so cheeky peeky moments. Molina has got those perfect answers. He has got those perfect substitutions. He has got those build up. I mean, Simeone has got those perfect answers to everything. Los Blancos, Vasquez on the right back. Back passes to Chouameni. Valverde again. Kylian. Bellingham. Get a chip in shot for Kylian Mbappe getting that goal. Denied a shot that is. Oh my god. It was Ceballos getting those fiery shots from the mid part of the box. Straight into the hands of Oblak. Oblak is staying at those right spots. Oh my god, that is a big run. That is a big run into the box. Holy Christ, that was a big run. Rosie Blancos has got those substitutions. And to look at it, I mean, that run which was made, look at that. Lorente from those right backs, he made those cheapy sticky runs into the box. Alvarez was there present, but that shot, it was a block from Garcia. Garcia got those blocks so good. Ceballos again moving to the mid pitch, finds it for Vinny Jr. There is Kylian inside the box, Vinny on the right left part, Bellingham mid part of the pitch taking those shots. Ceballos, Rodrigo. Los Blancos are now firing cannons. Header for Vinny Jr. or Bellingham. Not getting those clinical aspects. Los Blancos are now firing. This game is looking firing from Los Blancos in the second half. And whereas the likes of Rosie Blancos have just parked their bus. Look at that. Eight players of the Rosie Blancos were down on their defensive aspect. Look at that. That is something too big happening on the pitch. That is something too big happening on the pitch. Simeone has got those substitutions, but is that working? Because still Los Blancos are firing cannons against the defensively parked bus of the Roji Blancos. Are these substitutions working for Simeone or not? And when is that Ancelotti is going to make those substitutions count? That is the next aspect which we are having the watch of. Vasquez inside the box takes a shot. Why is Vasquez taking those shots? Go for those deep lying passes on the pitch, boy. Black gets some sort of touch to it, but it was nowhere near the post. Corner for the Los Blancos. Rodrigo, header from Chouameni, a drop in header. Black is that tall man standing. Look at that giant Black standing so tall. He is denying everything. I mean, one clinical finishing from Kylian Mbappe so far in this game. He got that cheeky peeky interception straight onto his feet. But apart from that, clinically, Madrid hasn't got those finishings. And the Rojiblancos are also denying any sort of big opportunities. Whereas Los Blancos are looking for firing cannons. They are setting the temperature, they are setting the bar high at the Santiago Bernabeu. Again, it is Vinicius Jr. on the wings, back passes that. Ceballos Valverde. Valverde goes for Kylian. Kylian up. First back in touch. I mean, Bellingham and Kylian, they need some sort of creativity with them in the mid pitch. They need some sort of substitutions from Ancelotti to be made to happen. It is either Modric, it is either Gula, or it is either Diaz who needs to come in onto the pitch. Brahim Diaz, it's high time, 68, 69 minutes to be perfect. It is Kylian moving in, 1, 2, 3, 4. What a shot that was from Kylian. He has got Vinicius Junior as well. Kylian is repenting on for taking that left footer shot. He shows his hand to Vinicius Junior because Vinny was there available to take that shot in a free space inside the box. But Kylian Mbappe went solely for that, and that left footer shot from Kylian, it wasn't that overpowered, it wasn't that clinical to get a goal. Inside the box again, time and again on those counters. Rosie Blancos are now deep, repenting on those counters being made. Can the Los Blancos take advantage of those numbers getting outnumbered? That is a bad tackle. Alvarez makes that tackle bad, but the referee on the pitch is not paying heed to those tackles which have been made consistently. I mean, the lineups have changed. The substitutions which were made so far, it is Coke, Molina, and the likes of Mandova. The three substitutions which Simeone has made so far on the pitch. I mean, these are the substitution options which both of them have got. But Ancelotti, on the other hand, hasn't made those substitutions so far. He is relying on his first lineup so far, and it is the 70 minutes on the watch. Los Blancos are trying to make those cannons firing inside that beehive of the Rojiblancos, whereas everything what the Rojiblancos are getting it on the pitch, they are trying to get those blocks deep down in their defense. But are these substitutions working for Diogo Simeone? Because time and again, Molina has been seen making those runs. Mandava is staying deep. Okay, is that man to talk about his tactical presence in the game. Okay, hasn't been that good so far. Okay, as well as Molina. I mean, Ronaldo, Vinicius Junior, 1-on-1 against two players inside the box. Oh my God. Vinicius Junior is making those moves look so good. And in the timeline, it is just with this. I mean, these stats high up, the bars have been raised at the Los Blancos. It is still the scoreline 1-1 at the Santiago Bernabeu. So much of happening from both the teams. 73 minutes on the watch. A corner incoming. Bellingham is asking for a header. Bellingham is asking for a header. Look at that. Look at that tackle to Asensio inside the box. He has a fall on the pitch. That was a bad tackle. There's a good corner being taken, but no header shots to be seen. No header shots to be seen. Kylian Mbappe again getting those tackles. He is down to the pitch. This time it is Reinildo who got those tackles. Look at that. Reinildo just hits Kylian Mbappe on his back part of the head, and he is down to the pitch. Tactical changes. Is it that what is happening for both the teams, or it is not? That is what the worry is. Because so far in this game, 19 shots Los Blancos have been, and that is the ball hits the post. Oh my God. Look at that free kick being taken. So good. I would just want to have a repeat watch of that. Rodrigo takes that free kick. It was the header, but no, Jano Black got those saves. He just couldn't get the hold of the ball good. A left hand touch to it. Vasquez makes his move straight to get those cheeky piggy shots to be taken, but Jan Oblak was good enough. Only these three substitutions which has been made by Simeone so far. How is that going to be the game changer? Roger Blancos making those moves. 75 minutes on the watch. Still, it is 75 minutes on the watch. The scores are one each. One each, the scores are. Oh my god, who is going to get those goals? Who is going to get those goals, guys? Oof, my head is spinning. Bellingham goes for Kylian on the left wings. No, denied. Bellingham goes for Kylian, but time and again he is being denied. Bad pain on my neck, man. Tavalos passes that to Valverde. Vasquez is getting high up on the pitch, but still 75 minutes into gameplay, and Ancelotti is not bringing any changes on the team. And this is what is going to happen against Manchester City as well. This game, this game, same gameplay. Ancelotti is going to get it against City or not. It will be must seen on the second half as well. Because to be precise, the next fixture where Real Madrid will be going up against City and will be traveling to Etihad. I mean, that will be another aspect because there at Etihad, Ancelotti will definitely be wanting his centre backs to be back in the lineup. That is the big worry which we'll be having. Oh my god, another big change happening, another big change happening, another big change happening. It is De Paul who is now moving to the sidelines, and Simeone has brought in Angel Correa. Man, this man, Angel Correa, is such a big menace because look at this. It was in the previous fixtures, it was that man, Angel Correa, in the super subs who has got those score sheets counting in the late stoppage time. Angel Correa, that super sub. Simeone has got those perfect replies at the perfect times. Simeone has got those perfect replies. It was Angel Correa in the previous fixtures. He got those big goals in the late stoppage time, and this substitution has been made. De Paul off the pitch and Angel Correa onto the pitch. Inside the box movement for the Roger Blancos. Angel Correa, he is in. He is in, man. He is a threat. Atletico 77 minutes on the watch are trying to make those things happen. Still, Ancelotti hasn't gone for those substitutions. Look at it. Still, Ancelotti hasn't gone for those substitutions on the pitch. Still, Ancelotti hasn't gone for those substitutions. 79 minutes on the watch. Whereas Simeone has been making those substitutions. He is implementing it. I mean, in the attacking aspects, Ancelotti has got few options. But no, he always sticks to his Vinny Jr. trying to get some sort of dribble block, that is Chouameni finally getting those interceptions, running up it, destroying that moment, passes that to Garcia. Sabalos, good move that is. Sabalos got that good move. Sabalos got that good move. Sabalos gives that to Kylian. Kylian passes that. Rodrigo, Vinny, no. That is a miss pass from Kylian Mbappe. Apart from that, goal scoring options. Kylian Mbappe in the second half not looking that lethal. Kylian Mbappe not looking that lethal in the second half. Oh my god, so many substitutions being made. So many substitutions being made. It is the likes of Kama. Oh my god, Kamavinga is coming in. Ceballos is off. Modric coming in. Vasquez moving out of the pitch. Alvarez has been opted out and Sorloth coming in. Man, last final 10 minutes plus stoppage time. Big changes in the gameplay coming in. Substitutions being made. Finally by Ancelotti. But why Camavinga, man? Holy Christ. Sabalos is moving out. Camavinga coming in. Vasquez is moving out. And it is Modric coming in. I mean, Valverde is dropping down to the right backs. But what is that positioning from Camavinga I would want to have? Modric staying with Bellingham, Garcia staying on those left backs. Camavinga is staying on those defensive midfield. I mean, the involvement of Camavinga, Modric, and Bellingham, the three midfielders can be seen. Cross from Lorente, Vinny Jr. getting those final third ones. Bellingham passes that to Vinny. A bad tackle that is. Vinicius Jr. gets those cross good. Rodrigo collects it, takes that shot. Wide of the net. Wide of the net. Did Oblak get a touch to it? That was great. I mean, the substitutions have been made. The substitutions have been made. Why Camavinga, man? Why Camavinga? Ah, my God. Zabalos moving in, Camavinga coming in, Vasquez going out, Modric coming in. I mean, to be precise in this game, I would have opted for the likes of Diaz coming in or Guller coming in, Valverde dropping down to the right back. But Zabalos goes in and Camavinga comes in. Man, that is something. I mean, Ancelotti can really make these things happen. He's such a big legendary manager over here. He really can make those decisions. The standings are looking good over here for both the teams. Real Madrid has got those substitutions. It is Roger Blancos also getting those substitutions inside the box movement. That is, man, super subs working for Simeone in this game. Super subs are working for Simeone in this game. Super subs are really working for Simeone in this game. I mean, these are the two lineups, and a total of, as we comprise of now, Real Madrid has been seen firing cannons, whereas the Roger Blancos still with that one penalty and no other creativity from them. Most of them have got those interceptions, but 8 shots on target by the Los Blancos, only one. That is something is worrying, guys. That is something is worrying, and the timeline is saying the final is that the substitutions which were made so far in this game. So many in the second half he is getting those interceptions because look at those runs which Chouameni is making at times from the centre backs. That will be lethal. Simeone must be having a view of that. Drake versus that. Asensio, Garcia, Vini, back to Asensio, Modric. Modric is having a view of the pitch, passes that to Chouameni. Look at that. Chouameni is so high up on the pitch. Chouameni is so high up on the pitch. Chouameni is so high up on the pitch. 85 minutes are up. Just 5 minutes plus stoppage time. My God, Madrid derby is that big clash going on. Ancelotti not happy with the attacking aspects as well as those tackles being made time and again. The previous clash between these two teams went into a brawl and into those stoppage times. Big fight was going on as well as Courtois getting those comments from the Roger Blancos fans. I mean, the game was interrupted, but this game it has been so far decent by the fans, not getting those disruptions on the pitch. Yes, the game started a bit late also. Game started a bit late as well. Whereas Bellingham today, he has been looking so decent, making those challenges. Rodrigo went for those inside the box. Yes, that is. I mean, Kylian Mbappe got those moments inside the box. Apart from that, you have to get those second goal, boys. Go for that second goal. Camavinga versus that to Courtois. Hope Camavinga doesn't make any big mistakes this game. Hope Camavinga doesn't make any mistakes this. Finally, Rodrigo comes off to the sidelines and Brahim Diaz has been called. I would have wanted Brahim Diaz much into the pitch and Vasquez to be not involved in that. I would have wanted Valverde to be on the right backs and Vasquez to be substituted in the first half, I mean in the second half starting as well. But Brahim Diaz now has been called. No signs of Arda Güler, no signs of Endrick for this game. Big boys game. The young boys have been kept out from the lineups. Ancelotti prefers matured players on the pitch. Endrick and Güler not being brought into the gameplay. Whereas Diogo Simeone has been consistently making those substitutions, but they are looking bit down on their defensive aspect most of the times because they have got those one goal. Can this Argentine manager versus the Italian, who is going to be that big win? Garcia speeding in, give that cross. He goes for Courtois. Courtois has got Chouameni, Camavinga. 88 minutes, 45 seconds, 1.5 minutes. Valverde inside the box. Kylian, get that touch. Kylian was inside, man. Kylian was inside the box. Kylian was inside the box. Man. Kylian was inside the box. But no. Modric taking that corner. Valverde. Long shot. Power into it. But no worries for Oblak. Valverde hasn't got those big shots taking opportunities. Valverde for today's game, I mean, talking about his presence, tactically he himself must not be that happy. Inside the box, Roger Blancos, 90 minutes are up. Man, 3 minutes of stoppage time. The previous leg ended with that equalizer from the Roger Blancos. Korea was the man scoring it. Can we get those one goal lead over here to the stoppage time? Can Los Blancos get those one goal lead? Can we get those one goal lead? Because so far in the stats to be talking about precise 23 shots by Los Blancos, 9 on target, not getting it big. Now the Los Blancos are dropping down on their defensive aspect. Los Blancos are now dropping down on their defensive aspect. Challenge from Garcia, that is to Lorente. Camavinga taking those positions. When look at that positioning from Camavinga, how is he raising high up on that midfield on the pitch? Again, look at Camavinga, man. Holy God. Lorento gets that. Oh my God. Oh my God. It was that moment again. It was that moment again. The flags were raised. The flags were raised. It was Sorloth inside the box. It was Sorloth inside the box. Sorloth was inside the box. Oh my God. A yellow card. That is for Sorloth. Good, good. Book them more. Kamavinga again. Going for those crosses. That is a tackle inside the box to Vinicius Jr. Man, that is a bad tackle inside the box to Vinicius Jr. 92 minutes, 10 seconds. Still 50 seconds left into it. Kylian Mbappe making those tackles. Finally, Kylian Mbappe dropping down to the mid wings and making those tackles. Damn. But Vinicius Jr. was also getting those fall inside the box. I mean, this referee decision giving that penalty, and in this over here for Vinicius Jr. having a fall inside the box. I really at times I don't understand what are those referee decisions. 92 minutes, 58 seconds, just 2 seconds left into it. Roger Blancos has got a free kick header from the Los Blancos, and this shit referee on the pitch has blown this whistle, giving that penalty to them. And that is what the Roger Blancos has got that one goal. And the end of the game over here, and it is all over because in these stats, if we talk about it, to be precise, look at it. I mean, it is 23 Los Blancos, 10 Roger Blancos, 9 on target, and just one shot on target by the Roger Blancos. Roger Blancos are up in the Champions League. They are at the second spot, 1 point trailing behind Los Blancos. It was at a time when Roger Blancos, with that first goal, with the penalty, of course, Alvarez getting it, but that Chouameni making those mistakes, I think Chouameni was a bit lazy in making those tackles. He just couldn't move his ass. He was just moving his left leg, moving that to make those tackles, and he ended up resulting in on the foot of the opposition, and it ended in a penalty. The Blancos were 2 points leading with that win, but in the second half, Kylian Mbappe getting those opportunities inside the box with those interceptions, Kylian doing it good, and finally, Real Madrid, a la Madrid, not happening big, but 50 points, 23 matches at the top, 22 goals conceded, 51 goals scored, 3 losses, 5 draws, 15 wins. And Roger Blancos, 49 points, 23 matches, 15 goals they have conceded, the least across all competitions across the globe. 38 is the goals they have scored, and 15 they have conceded. 2 losses, 7 draws, 14 wins. That is the standing of this Madrid derby, which stays it like that. But apart from that, if we talk about, I mean, this stats, if we look much into it, the next game, Real Madrid going to face Manchester City, but against Atletico, they have got those 93% pass accuracy. And do you guys think that this gameplay is going to come up big? Because over here it has ended in a 1-1 draw. Some sort of decisions from the referees giving those penalties were a bit critical, but this gameplay which Los Blancos has shown this game, the next game when they are going to play against Manchester City, that is definitely Real Madrid are going to cruise it big against Pep Guardiola's man. That is also the big watch along we will be having, I mean, in the next fixtures for the Los Blancos. But this gameplay, if Real Madrid are going to keep it against Guardiola, that is definitely going to make them big wins is happening. But some sort of things which needs to be analyzed over here is that Kylian Mbappe has got those touches, Bellingham has got those touches, Rodrigo was seen, Vinicius Junior was seen. They have to be a bit clinical in getting those goals happening. A big win was expected from my side. Real Madrid against Atletico Madrid. The second leg has ended, and in both the two legs, both the teams have drawn each other. Because in the previous leg, it was Korea in the stoppage time getting those equalizers against Real Madrid, and in this game, it is the likes of Atletico Madrid scoring it the first with a penalty. I mean, with the help of a penalty, and Los Blancos getting those equalizers. So both the legs of this season for this has ended, but can we have another fixture coming up in the Copa del Rey? Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid can get some fixtures in those Copa del Rey matches itself. We will get to know about it a bit later. Apart from this, Real Madrid on their next fixtures with this lineup they had today, this really looked so boosting. They really looked so boosting. Some sort of aspects from Vasquez I wasn't being able to understand. Some sort of aspects from Chouameni I wasn't being able to understand at times. And yes, Ancelotti preferring to bring in Brahim Diaz bit late and not dropping down Vasquez, rather staying with him up to those 80 minutes. That is the thing which I couldn't digest. Whereas from the talking aspects of Diogo Simeone, this man time and again he has been bringing it so good, because in the previous legs, to talk about, Diogo Simone had this lineup for this game, and just have a look of the lineup. To be precise, in this fixture, it was this, where you had Vasquez, Chouameni, Asensio, and Garcia for Real Madrid at the centre backs. Real Madrid are having those, I mean, drop down in those centre backs due to those injuries, whereas in the previous leg, it was the lineup where it was the likes of Mendy, Militao, Rudiger, and Carvajal. Completely different lineup. This was the most amazing fact of this game. And on the other hand, if to talk about in this fixture, just have a look of it, it was for Diego Simeone's man today, Samolino, Barrios, DePaul, and Simeone. Four of these mid-pitch, Lino, Barrios, DePaul, and Simeone. But in the first leg, if we have a look, it was DePaul, Lorente, Gallagher, and Alvarez. I mean, Simeone Inzaghi has been preparing it quite different, and he has been building this team from the deep roots for a long time. And on the attacks in the previous leg, it was Sorloth and Griezmann. But in this, he went for the likes of Alvarez and Griezmann. It was Sorloth also getting those big stats this season, which he has, but he was brought in into the substitutions. In the previous leg, it was Korea getting those big wins, big equalizers, and in this, he could make those differences, whereas Julian Alvarez got a goal and Kylian Mbappe, and in the previous leg, it was Militao and the likes of Korea getting those. That is all from our side, guys, and it is all the end of it. Real Madrid has got those, I mean, both in the Madrid derby, Los Blancos and Real Madrid, both of them has drawn just 2 points of the both the legs being played. The second Madrid derby of this season, we can just have some predictions that in the Copa del Rey, there could have been a fixture which we are waiting for. And up in the table, to talk about, it is all the likes of Real Madrid who are so high up, and the stats of this game, to be precise, this is what it is all about. The top of the table is staying the likes of Real Madrid, 23 matches, 50 points. Atletico Madrid, 23 matches, 49 points. Barcelona still a game to play in, I mean, tomorrow they will be playing a game, but they are 5 points behind Real Madrid. Real Madrid conceding, I mean, getting those losses against Espanyol was something not much expected, but it happened. And Roger Blancos, 1 point behind Real Madrid. That is the closed La Liga table. And apart from the timeline, the goals which were scored was just the Kylian Mbappe moment which we had today. This was that Kylian Mbappe, and Real Madrid restored that penalty option. Otherwise, it would have been a big win for Real Madrid in this game. And apart from this, it was that Julian Alvarez moment, that goal, which let him some sort of big things happening. That is all about for today's team, guys. And yes, the Champions League are also coming on to the next stage. We will be having a watch of that as well. And those of you who had your vote that Real Blancos are going to get those wins, no, it hasn't happened. And Atletico Madrid are going to get those wins, it hasn't happened. This has resulted in a draw for both the legs. That comes the end of our stream. And yes, thank you for joining our stream. Get those cheeky links in our social media. The descriptions are given in the channel as well as in the video descriptions. And yes, before ending this, give us those like, share, and subscribe. Hala Madrid, this hasn't happened this season, ending in the Madrid derby draw. But in the Copa del Rey, if we get those fixtures, we are going to win it big. Hala Madrid. Bye. Keep going, guys. Good night.